Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We are honestly living in a golden age of building right now. Solo founders, indie hackers, and designers are spinning up entirely new SaaS platforms over a single weekend using AI assistants. It's this wild new phenomenon called vibe coding, and it is amazing. But there is a massive silent problem lurking right beneath the surface of all this incredible speed, and that's security. Think about it. If an AI assistant wrote your code, who's actually checking it? Well, today we're looking at a fascinating new tool called Lictor-Ai. Its mission? To act as the plain English security crew for anything you build with AI, catching the bugs your assistant completely missed.
To really understand why a tool like Lictor-Ai is so vital right now, we have to look at the reality of AI-generated code. Between 40 to 62% of AI-built code ships with vulnerabilities. Let that sink in for a second. Nearly half, or potentially way more, of the code being rapidly deployed by AI assistants right now has security holes baked right into it. When you're rushing to ship a prototype in 48 hours, security almost always takes a back seat to functionality. It's just human nature.
And the severity of this situation? It is staggering. In Q1 of 2026, 91.5% of vibe-coded apps had at least one AI hallucination flaw. And we aren't just talking about minor annoying bugs here. Recent incidents involving vibe-coded apps exposed tens of thousands of users simply because of basic RLS, that's row-level security misconfigurations. Over 8 million people use these platforms, and let's be totally honest, most vibe coders don't even know what an RLS policy is. The AI hallucinated a setup, and suddenly, user data is sitting wide open on the internet for anyone to grab.
So why aren't people using security tools? Well, there's a massive disconnect in the industry. Traditional enterprise security tools, the big names like SNCC, Veracode, or Checkmarx, they just weren't built for you. They assume you have this 5-developer team and a chief information security officer who speaks fluent compliance jargon. But the vibe coder? They're usually a solo founder armed with an AI assistant and a burning desire to ship something in 48 hours. They definitely don't have a CISO, and they certainly don't have the time or patience for a mandatory sales call just to get a basic security scan. Section 1. Meet Lictor-Ai, the 60-second security audit. Lictor-Ai steps in and bridges this massive gap by establishing trust from the very first second. It's a completely accessible, incredibly fast solution built specifically for the solo AI developer. It comes in exactly where those heavy, clunky enterprise tools fail, offering what they call the 60-second audit. First off, it's entirely free and open source, under the Apache 2.0 license. And here's the best part. It runs 100% locally on your machine. Your code literally never leaves your laptop. There are absolutely no signups, no per-seat pricing, and zero telemetry tracking you. It was built by a 20-year cybersecurity engineer from Israel, who spent 2 decades doing CISO advisory at Fortune 500s. He basically got tired of writing security reports that nobody outside of compliance teams could actually understand. And they've made it the ultimate convenience by integrating it seamlessly into workflows you're probably already using. It runs everywhere AI-built apps get built. So whether you use Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Continue.dev, Klein and VS Code, or just a standalone command line interface, Lictor is right there. It takes just one simple / command. Literally just type /Lictor security check from any of these 6 entry points, and it instantly audits your project. Section 2. Security in plain English. No jargon required. Lictor completely throws out the confusing CVE numbers, CVS scores, and corporate buzzwords. Plain English isn't just a fun feature here. It is the entire product. A traditional security tool is going to flag an information disclosure vulnerability. Honestly, what does that even mean to a designer building a backend on a Saturday morning? Nothing. Lictor translates that exact same issue into anyone can read your customer list. Boom. It points out exactly what your app is doing and what the real-world consequence is. The rule is, if the finding cannot be explained to a non-technical co-founder, Lictor rewrites it. It's literally security reporting your mom could read.
Section 3. Meet the crew, the 11 specialist agents. Unlike most AI security tools out there that act as a complete black box, Lictor uses a totally transparent crew of 11 named specialist agents. It's kind of like a heist movie. First up, we have Wolf. Think of Wolf as the orchestrator. Wolf reads your project, plans out the entire audit, and hands out the work to the right specialists. Then there's Owl, the quality gate. Owl scores every single finding out of 10. If an alert scores less than a 6, it gets thrown out immediately. Why? Because the team decided it's way better to skip a noisy, annoying alert than to ship a wrong one and waste your time. And then we have Hawk, the pattern scout. Hawk is absolutely crucial, specifically trained on over 14,300 real audits just to hunt down the exact bug shapes that bytecoders ship most, like those RLS gaps or environment variable leaks we talked about earlier.
Turning these raw findings into actual, actionable results is the job of Lyrebird, the voice keeper. Lyrebird is the one responsible for translating all those dense findings into that beautiful, plain English we love. Then comes B, the fix designer. B doesn't hand you a 40-page remediation guide. No way. B drafts the smallest possible fix, we're talking one paragraph, one code diff, and tells you the exact file and line to drop it into. Finally, there's Mantis, the audit auditor. Mantis reviews the crew's work every single week, catching false positives and making sure the crew gets smarter, not just louder, over time.
Section 4, the complete Lictor suite, scaling with your app.
So the 60-second audit is absolutely fantastic for a weekend prototype. But what happens when you start getting real users? Well, Lictor scales with you. First is Lictor Shield, which is a completely free Chrome extension. Shield actually audits any deployed AI-built site you visit. It runs 5 critical static checks right there in your browser, looking for leaked secrets, exposed databases, open authentication, things like that. And sticking strictly to their privacy philosophy, the execution is entirely local. The URL you visit never leaves your browser. It literally catches issues before you even decide to sign up for a service. Next up in the suite is Lictor Sentinel. This is crucial for when your app actually starts making calls to OpenAI or Anthropic at runtime. Sentinel acts as a runtime wrapper that intercepts the pre- and post-flight data. It actively blocks prompt injections across 32 different attack patterns. It also prevents your app from leaking your own sensitive secrets back to the AI model across 15 different patterns, things stuff like AWS keys or Stripe tokens. It even features Loon-validated credit card detection to make sure your users' financial data doesn't accidentally get fed into a language model. And for when your little weekend project gets really serious, there is Lictor Guardian. Guardian is designed precisely for that terrifying moment when your first real enterprise customer asks, "Hey, are you guys SOC 2 safe?" Guardian provides per-incident timelines, append-only audit logs enforced right at the database level, and perfectly exportable evidence logs for SOC 2 and GDPR compliance. It even sets up Slack webhooks for critical alerts, ensuring you and your team are immediately aware of any major security incidents the second they happen. Looking at the timeline, we started in Q1 2026 with a pretty staggering 91.5% of Vide-coded apps shipping with deep fundamental flaws. Today, Lictor-Ai is stepping up to offer immediate 60-second plain English audits directly in your workflow. And looking just ahead to Q1 2027, we have Lictor Sentry coming down the pipeline. That's an iOS VPN profile currently in development, specifically designed to protect high-value individuals by monitoring outbound AI API calls directly from their phones. Section 5. Open Source Trust. Verifying the code. Solo builders just don't have the time for opaque proprietary black boxes. You need tools that are open, totally verifiable, and completely free from annoying enterprise sales pipelines. With Lictor, every single check is a markdown file you can just open up and read. Every agent has a system prompt you can fork yourself. You can read it, you can run it, and you can verify it entirely on your own terms. And that brings us to this incredibly powerful thought from the creators. Trust comes from the code, not from a certificate. In a world where AI is writing our software way faster than any of us can actually read it, relying on traditional compliance stamps just isn't enough anymore. You need to verify the code itself. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to chew on. Is your AI assistant secretly shipping vulnerabilities into your code right now? Until next time, stay curious and keep building securely.